Hello and welcome to day 3 of our challenge. Today we're going to be working a little bit of dynamic movement. So we're going to be moving the body constantly here. So we're not going to be coming into a pose and holding it. We're going to be flowing. So the first thing that I'd like you to do is come to standing at the top of your mat. And we're going to start with a sun salutation. So standing, feet hips distance at the top of your mat or in your space wherever you are. Slight bend of the knees, roll the shoulders back, come to mountain pose at the top of your mat. Okay, let's inhale, sweep the hands around and up above your head. Exhale, fold forward, slight bend of the knees here. And today just notice where you are. You may not be very far, especially if you found the strength training yesterday pretty difficult. Your muscles might have tightened, so let's loosen them back up. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Slight bend of the knees. Inhale, lengthen the legs, lengthen the spine. You can straighten your legs here. Exhale, slight bend of the knees, fold forward. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. And you may come up quite far when you inhale halfway. We want to lengthen through the spine, so you may come up a bit higher. That's fine. Exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale down, bend the knees as much as you can so you can plant the hands on the ground. Take both feet back to plank. Hold for a second. Lower the knees down, untuck the toes. Lower down chin and chest, so your bum kind of sticks up. You lower your chest in between your hands and then slide through. Now, if you find that too difficult, that's absolutely fine. Keep your elbows hugging backwards and slowly lower down all in one to the ground. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, peel the top of your chest off the ground, look forward. Exhale, lower your head down. Push up onto your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now, if doing sun salutations are new to you, I'm going to leave a link in the description below on a quick tutorial on this. Bend the knees, look towards your hands. You can take little steps or one big step and come back to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Slight bend of the knees, upper body's relaxed over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sweep the hands out to the side, come all the way up to standing. Hands reach up above your head, hands come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's bring the feet to about as wide as the yoga mat. I'm just going to turn to face you slightly. Toes can be pointed out a little bit diagonally. Nice bend of the knees here. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. And we're going to bounce it out here. So just have a nice bend in your knees and bounce. Bounce your upper body closer down towards the ground. Now this is called gorilla pose. It's such an amazing pose for flexibility. And you might bounce in the center. You might bounce over your left foot, over your right foot. Literally just have a play and bounce wherever you want. Maybe you twist. Maybe you just flow side to side. Maybe you even come up and start pounding on your chest. Do a bit of gorilla sound. Don't know, my mind went blank then over what a gorilla sound was. Anyway, let's just keep bouncing. And the aim here is just to lighten up a bit as well, because when we smile and we find things a bit silly, it helps to relax the muscles. So bounce it out. Be a gorilla for a moment. It's a great way also as we bounce to get deeper than we normally would, but not have the pressure of having to stay there. Okay, and then find some stillness. Slight bend of the knees. Hands come down to the ground. Heel toe your feet back to hips distance and find yourself in your forward fold. Let's inhale halfway. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, take your knees down to the ground and find yourself on all fours. So shoulders over wrists, hips above the knees. Okay, a couple of cat cows here. Let's inhale, drop the belly down, look forward. Exhale, push the mat away, round the back. Inhale, cow pose, look forward, drop your belly down. Exhale, reverse, round the back, draw the belly button up towards the spine. Inhale, down. Exhale, back. Okay, let's come back to neutral. Toes together, bring your knees a little wider, maybe even as wide as the yoga mat. Now what we're going to do here is inhale to your cow pose, so drop your belly down, look forward. As you exhale, you're going to push the mat away, start rounding the back, and then drop your hips down towards your heels. As you inhale, elbows come down to the ground, pull yourself forward, arch your back, look up, come back to that cow pose. Exhale, round the back, drop your hips down. Inhale, pull yourself forward, arch the back, come back up. And just keep taking this movement for a while. So exhaling down, inhaling back up. And it might take you a little while or a few goes to kind of get the hang of this. That's absolutely fine. And just notice here where you're feeling anything. You might be feeling this around the thighs. Maybe your bum doesn't quite reach your heels. And just notice here that when we come back and we're coming back to the child's pose, your thighs are against your legs. And what happens when we're in our forward fold? You're trying to get your thighs to your legs. So this is a great warm up. Okay, next time you come back up to all fours, bring the knees back under the hips and just neutralize out the spine. So spine lengthens. Hands come out a little bit further than the shoulders. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Belly to thighs, hips to sky. Let's bicycle out the legs here. So let's straighten one leg. Really trying to dig that heel down towards the ground. Try to even out the weight in between your hands here. And then rebend it and straighten the other leg. And again, just notice, is one side a lot tighter than the other? Slow inhales and exhales. And switch legs again. And switch. Bending both knees, look towards your hands. Take little steps, keep your hands on the ground and walk your way up as much as you can into your forward fold. Maybe you can keep your knees bent here. Release the palms of the hands, come into your forward fold, wherever you are. If that means you're all the way up here, that's fine. Inhale halfway, exhale fold. Inhale, sweep the hands out to the side, come all the way up to standing, hands together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so another little thing we're going to do here. Cross your right leg behind your left so that the outer edges of your feet come together, cross-legged. Okay, now you may find this a little bit wobbly, so feel free to go next to a wall. I'm going to inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Now you can bend your knees here. You don't have to keep your legs straight. This is going to be a lot harder than the normal forward fold. So maybe you've got blocks, maybe you hold onto a wall, maybe you can reach the floor. Bend your knees if you need to. Just feel the difference here. Feel it all down, probably the right side a little bit more. And again, I'm going to just take a little bit of movement with this. This is why it's great to have a wall or some blocks, because we're going to inhale halfway, exhale fold. Inhale halfway, straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Inhale halfway. Maybe your head comes up, and as you exhale, let your head look back towards your knees as well. Inhale, it's like you've got this flow of the spine. One more time. Hands come down, uncross the legs, come back to your regular forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up, come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Let's cross the left leg behind the right. Outer edges of the feet come together. Remember, bend your knees as much as you need to here. If you can't cross your legs behind and your outer edges aren't touching, that's fine as well. It doesn't matter if that foot is slightly further back. Let's inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, grab hold of the floor, some blocks, a chair, the wall, whatever you've got available. And let's find some flow here. So let's inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Now remember, when you're inhaling halfway, lengthen through the spine. That doesn't matter if you come all the way up, if you have to. Try not to keep the back rounded. We want it halfway. So just go with your own pace here. Every time you inhale, you're straightening the legs. Every time you exhale, slight bend. Remember to kind of flow with the head as well. Your neck is an extension of your spine, so keep the flow going. Your head is also one of the heaviest things in the body. So if you are trying to hold it up, you're going to be causing tension in your neck. And then bring your hands back down to the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Come back to your regular forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. Come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, take both feet back to plank. Push your hips up high, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up high behind. And then we're going to step the right foot all the way up in between the hands and come into a low lunge. So lower your left knee. Now, if you find it difficult to swing your leg up, that's fine. Drop to all fours, bring that leg up, and come to your low lunge that way. If you would like to learn how to swing your leg up, I've got a video on that as well, so I'll leave that in the description that you can go and check out. Okay, so from here, we want to start to straighten that right leg. Toes are going to point up towards the ceiling. So this is your half splits. Now you can, again, grab hold of a wall, grab hold of blocks, grab hold of a chair, anything you have lying around that's not moving, because I nearly said a child or a cat then. Don't do that. Let's inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. And again, you can have this knee bent. It doesn't have to be straight. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. And just keep going again with this. Every time you fold, let your head get heavy. Inhale up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, go over. Couple more breaths here. Last one. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Bend into that right knee. Step your right knee back. Left foot comes forward. Now you might find a little bit of resistance to start with because we've just worked the other side. So just notice if that's happening. Maybe wiggle your hips side to side. Let's straighten the left leg. Again, blocks or hold onto the wall. Lengthen through the spine. Take a big inhale. Exhale, fold. It doesn't matter if that knee's bent. Inhale. And it's up to you how big you want these movements. I mean, I'm going up really high and then coming down. You don't have to do that. You can inhale, exhale, just slightly. Completely up to you here. But what we're doing is as we inhale, we're lengthening through the spine and opening the chest. As we exhale, we're trying to get as close to that leg as we can. So it's up to you how big you want to make these movements, but don't stay stuck. Keep moving. Couple more breaths here. And then bring your hands back down to the ground. Bend into that left knee. Take your left knee back to meet the right. Hover over your hands so you're in a half plank, vinyasa, either lower chin or chest, or all in one. Come all the way down to the ground. Inhale, cobra, keep your pelvis on the ground. Maybe your belly comes off the ground this time, but hug your elbows to your sides. Exhale, back down. Push back up onto your knees and just come to a kneeling position. Okay, so one last thing to try here. We're gonna come onto our bums and we're gonna roll all the way down onto our backs. So hug your knees in, come down onto your backs. If you have got a wall behind you, you may need to shuffle down slightly. I'm gonna bring the toes together, knees wide. Bring your arms in the middle of your legs. Now, use your hands to either grab your ankles or the outer edges of your feet. And you might recognize this one from Happy Baby if you've done yoga before. The further away your feet are, the more of a stretch you're gonna feel in your hips here. And this is called Happy Baby pose. So the closer your toes are together, the less of a stretch. So if it feels too much, bring your feet closer together. But the aim here is to try to bring your knees down towards your armpits, but also have a little bit of resistance here between your hands and your feet. So it's like your feet are trying to kick up towards the ceiling, but your hands are trying to pull them down. So you've got a little bit of strength, a little bit of muscles working here. That was proper English, wasn't it? And rock gently side to side. Try to keep your low back flat on the ground. And you can either stay with this or we're gonna try something a little bit funky, which I love to do. Bring your feet together. Now, we're gonna try to straighten our legs. Now you may not be able to, and again, you may just grab your ankles. If you grab your ankles, this is gonna be a lot harder. But you might notice here that if you can straighten your legs, your bum starts coming off the floor, and then your legs kind of go up over your head, and then maybe your toes even tap the floor behind you. It's just a little thing to do. You can bend your knees to come back out, straighten them, just come back up. And stay looking up at the ceiling while you do this movement. Completely up to you. You might not be able to do it. It's quite a tricky one. And you can do it holding on to your ankles, but again, it's just a little bit harder to come all the way up. You might have to give it a bit of momentum to then come up, but just watch your neck, watch your back, make sure you're looking straight up towards the ceiling. And then you can roll yourself all the way back up if you'd like. If you can't do that, you can just come to a seated position. You can grab behind the thighs and kind of tuck your chin and rock and roll all the way up. Just bring your legs out in front and just shake them up and down. Roll the shoulders back. Come to a comfortable position. I'm just gonna stretch out the spine slightly before we finish today. So let's inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, just twist it to one side. Lengthen through the spine. And twist. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale your hands back up. Exhale, twist it over to the other side. Inhale your hands back up. Exhale, release them down. Bring your hands behind you if you can. I'm just gonna open the chest. So look up towards the ceiling. Maybe you even can drop the head back, completely up to you, but we're just opening the chest. Couple breaths here. Done a lot of forward folding today. And then come back to seated. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Don't forget, if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.